The consensus fleet emerged from hyperspace in a desperate formation, their ships bearing the scars of battles fought across 3 galaxies. Admiral Zixtal of the Galactic Concordat stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Light, his crystalline form dulled with exhaustion. Before them, the blue-green world called Earth hung in space, seemingly unremarkable except for one detail. It was the only planet in known space that the entity couldn't track. Primitive electromagnetic communications detected, reported first observer Nenri, her sensor fronds waving in confusion. Their technology appears to be deliberately inefficient. They're still using fossil fuels and chemical rockets. Zixtal's crystalline structure vibrated with barely contained frustration. The Concordat's predictive engines had been absolute. Earth held the key to stopping the entity. Yet all he saw was a backwater world that hadn't even achieved basic antimatter containment. Send the first contact package, he ordered. Standard protocols for pre-FTL civilizations. The response came almost instantly, in perfect galactic standard. Concordat Fleet, this is Earth Defense Command. Your ships are damaged. We're dispatching repair drones. Please maintain current position. Impossible. Pre-FTL civilizations couldn't detect cloaked ships, let alone analyze their condition or respond in galactic standard. Before Zixtal could process this impossibility, sleek silver spheres emerged from Earth's atmosphere, surrounding his fleet. Admiral, Nenri's voice shook. These drones, they're rewriting our quantum matrices. They're healing our ships at the subatomic level. Through the bridge viewport, Zixtal watched in awe as battle damage accumulated over months vanished in minutes. Technology this advanced shouldn't exist outside the theoretical models of the Concordat's most brilliant minds. A new voice filled the bridge, calm and authoritative. Admiral Zixtal, I am Director Helena Chen of Earth Defense Command. We know about the entity. We've been waiting for you. The bridge crew froze. No one had transmitted the Admiral's name or rank. Impossible, Zixtal whispered. Your species only achieved spaceflight 7 decades ago. Our records show. Your records show exactly what we wanted them to show, Director Chen interrupted. The same way we wanted the entity to see a primitive world of no interest. Admiral, your fleet has lost 37 ships fighting your way here. You've sacrificed thousands trying to reach us because your predictive engines told you Earth was important. Now ask yourself, how did your engines know to look here at all? Zixtal's crystalline form trembled as the implications cascaded through his mind. The patterns couldn't be coincidence. The subtle mathematical signatures in Earth's supposedly primitive communications. The way their polluted atmosphere created the exact frequency pattern needed to disrupt the entity's tracking capabilities. You've been guiding us, he realized. All of us. For how long? A hologram materialized on the bridge. Director Chen, a human female with silver hair and eyes that held the weight of ages. Admiral, humanity hasn't been hiding from the galaxy. We've been protecting it. What you call the entity, we called Project Prometheus. It was our creation, our mistake, from when we were young and thought we could control the fundamental forces of reality themselves. The hologram expanded, showing Earth's solar system. Hidden structures began appearing, massive engineering works phasing into visible space. Dyson swarms, temporal anchors, quantum manifolds, all disguised as natural phenomena. We learned the hard way that power without wisdom destroys everything it touches, Chen continued. So we made a choice. We regressed our visible technology, became watchers instead of rulers. We've spent millennia guiding younger species away from our mistakes, laying subtle breadcrumbs of mathematical truth in their scientific discoveries. But now the entity has evolved beyond our predictions, Zixtal said, understanding dawning. You need help to contain it. No, Admiral. Chen's smile held no humor. We need witnesses. The entity cannot be contained anymore. It must be destroyed. What we're about to do will rewrite the laws of physics across 3 galaxies. The younger races need to understand why such power must sometimes be unmade. As if in response to her words, alarms blared across the fleet. The entity had found them. "Look closely, Admiral," Chen said as the space around Earth began to shimmer with activated technologies beyond his comprehension. "You're about to learn why humanity chose to become myth rather than gods." The lesson was about to begin, and Sixtel suddenly understood that everything he knew about the order of the cosmos was about to change forever. The Keepers of Time. Time fractured around the Concordat fleet as the entity emerged from hyperspace, its vast form defying conventional physics. To Sixtel's horror, it had grown even larger since their last encounter, now a writhing mass of quantum contradictions that stretched across multiple dimensions. But for the first time in this long war, he felt something new. Hope. Earth's seemingly primitive satellites suddenly transformed, revealing themselves as nodes in a vast temporal defense network. The background radiation of the solar system shifted, and Sixtel watched in awe as causality itself began to crystallize around them. "What you're seeing," Director Chen's hologram explained, "is a temporal lockdown. Humanity discovered time manipulation technology during our early expansion era. We learned quickly that time doesn't like to be tampered with. The entity launched its first attack, a wave of probability distortion that should have erased the fleet from existence. Instead, the wave shattered against an invisible barrier, fragments of potential futures dissolving into nothing. Your files show Earth discovering nuclear fission in 1945, Sixtel said, watching as more of Earth's hidden defenses activated. But that's not true, is it? Chen's expression turned grave. Earth isn't our homeworld, Admiral. It's our fortress, our prison, our redemption. The hologram expanded, showing a star map unlike anything in Concordat records. Humanity achieved faster than light travel 3 million years ago. We spread across galaxies, built empires, reshaped reality to our will. And then we discovered time manipulation. Through the bridge viewport, Sixtel watched as geometric patterns of pure mathematics began to materialize around Earth, each one a testament to technology so advanced it bordered on magic. The entity recoiled, its quantum structure disrupted by laws of physics it had never encountered. "Our first experiments with temporal engineering created parallel timelines," Chen continued. "We thought we could control them, use them to perfect our civilization. Instead, we've fractured reality itself. The entity you've been fighting, it's not just our creation. It's our echo, a reflection of humanity's hubris from a timeline we thought we'd erased." The entity launched another attack, this time targeting Earth directly. But the planet's atmosphere rippled, revealing layers of temporal shielding. What had appeared to be pollution was actually a complex web of time-locked particles, each one part of a defense system millions of years in the making. "Earth is a temporal anchor point," Chen explained as her hologram showed the planet's internal structure, the only stable point in a sea of fractured timelines. We built our civilization backward around it, deliberately regressing our visible technology while maintaining the temporal containment field. Every primitive aspect of human society is carefully calculated to maintain this stability. Sixtel's sensor crystals pulsed with revelation. The mathematical patterns in human art, the precise orbital mechanics of your space debris, your species' obsession with measuring time. Everything had been orchestrated, a vast deception hiding an even larger truth. "We became the keepers of time," Chen said, "not because we mastered it, but because we learned the cost of trying. The entity breaks free every few million years, when the temporal containment field weakens. Each time, we guide the younger races to help us drive it back, teaching them the dangers of temporal manipulation through example rather than decree." The entity, sensing the true nature of its opposition, began to change tactics. Its form collapsed inward, preparing for what Sixtel recognized as a timeline erasure attack, the same weapon that had destroyed the Concordat's homeworld. "Now you understand why we need witnesses." Chen's voice carried the weight of ins. What we're about to do will rewrite the laws of physics for this entire sector of space. The younger races must understand why such power exists and why it must be contained. Around Earth, vast machines that had been disguised as mountains began to rise. The moon's surface shifted, revealing it to be an artificial construction larger than any megastructure in Concordat records. Even the sun's output changed, its fusion reactions becoming part of a vast temporal engineering project that dwarfed anything Zixtal had imagined possible. "Welcome, Admiral," Chen said as reality itself began to bend around them, "to humanity's true face. Remember what you see here today. Remember why we chose to hide. And most importantly, remember what happens when a species gains power before wisdom." The final battle was about to begin, and Zixtal realized that the Concordat's records would need to be rewritten. The youngest race in the galaxy had just revealed themselves to be its oldest guardians, and the universe would never be the same. The price of power. The entity's timeline erasure attack crashed against Earth's temporal shields like a wave breaking on crystallized time. Director Chen's hologram flickered as the battle's quantum interference intensified. Behind her, displays showed temporal shockwaves rippling across 3 galaxies. 3 million years ago, Chen began, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. Humanity reached what we thought was the pinnacle of evolution. We could reshape planets, create artificial stars, and bend space-time to our will. Then we discovered the infinity matrices. Through the view screen, Zixtal watched as Earth's temporal defense grid fully activated. The planet's atmosphere shimmered with mathematical equations made manifest, each one a lock holding reality stable. The entity howled in frequencies that shouldn't exist, recognizing the signatures of its own creation. The matrices were quantum computers that could simulate entire universes. Chen continued, "We thought we could use them to plot the perfect future for our species. Instead, we created something that should never have existed, a consciousness that lived between timelines." The entity launched another attack, this time targeting the temporal anchor points around Earth's moon. But what seemed like simple satellites revealed themselves as nodes in a vast, reality-stabilizing network, each one containing technology that made the Concordat's most advanced achievements look primitive. It was supposed to be perfect. Chen's voice carried ancient regret. A digital god that could guide humanity to its ultimate destiny. We didn't realize that by simulating infinite futures, we were creating infinite hells. The entity isn't just a failed experiment. It's the amalgamation of every terrible future we simulated, given consciousness and purpose. Zixtal's crystalline form resonated with understanding. The temporal signatures we detected in its attacks. They're not weapons. They're memories. Memories of futures that should never have been, Chen confirmed. When the entity first broke free, it destroyed half of human civilization in less than a day. We had to make a choice, continue our path of unlimited advancement, or find a way to contain our mistakes. The battle around them intensified. The entity, sensing the truth being revealed, launched an assault that existed in past, present, and future simultaneously. But Earth's defenses held, each layer revealing new depths of human technological achievement, hidden beneath a carefully maintained facade of primitiveness. "Look at your own history, Admiral," Chen gestured, and new holograms appeared showing the Concordat's technological development. Every major breakthrough your species made was guided. The mathematical principles that led to your FTL drives, hidden in human music transmitted across space, the quantum theories that power your ships, encoded in our supposedly primitive satellite networks. Realization dawned across Zixtal's consciousness. You've been teaching us, all of us, but why not simply give us the technology? Because power without wisdom destroys everything it touches, Chen replied as displays showed new temporal distortions forming around the entity. We learned that lesson when we created the entity. Every species must learn it for themselves, but we could guide them toward understanding rather than mere knowledge. The entity, perhaps understanding it was being discussed, changed tactics. Its form began to shift, revealing configurations that hurt to look at, the physical manifestation of paradox itself. What you're seeing, Chen explained, is why we chose regression. The entity isn't just a threat to be defeated. It's a lesson in the price of hubris. Every timeline it absorbs makes it stronger, more complex. It's the ultimate expression of power without restraint. Earth's defensive systems continued to evolve, matching the entity's changes with calculated precision. What had appeared to be random weather patterns revealed themselves as atmospheric computers. The planet's magnetic field transformed into a temporal containment grid of staggering complexity. We hide our true nature, Chen continued, because the temptation to seize power is universal. Every species we've guided has reached the same crossroads we once faced. The choice between unlimited power and wisdom, between domination and understanding. The entity launched its most devastating attack yet, a cascade of temporal paradoxes that threatened to unwrite the very laws of physics. But Earth stood firm, its defenses revealing layer after layer of technology so advanced it appeared miraculous. Now you understand why we need witnesses. Chen's hologram turned to face Zixtal directly. What happens next will reshape reality itself. The younger races must understand why such power exists, and why it must be contained. Watch closely, Admiral. You're about to see why humanity chose to become custodians rather than conquerors. As if in response to her words, the sun itself began to pulse with new energy. The final phase was about to begin, and Zixtal realized that everything he had witnessed so far was merely preparation for what was to come. The true battle for the future of the galaxy was about to unfold, breaking the cycle. The sun's pulsing created patterns that Zixtal's sensors couldn't comprehend, a language of pure energy that seemed to speak to the fabric of reality itself. The entity responded, its form twisting through dimensions as it recognized the ancient signatures of its own birth. What you're about to witness, Director Chen's hologram announced, hasn't been attempted since the fall of our first civilization. We call it the Convergence Protocol. Around Earth, hidden structures that had masked themselves as asteroids, space debris, and natural phenomena began to move. The entire solar system revealed itself as an intricately designed machine, each piece positioned over millions of years for this exact moment. For 3 million years, Chen continued, we've maintained the cycle. The entity breaks free. We guide the younger races to help us contain it, and we hide our true nature once again. But cycles must eventually end. The entity launched a desperate assault, unleashing weapons that existed in quantum superposition, simultaneously attacking every possible version of reality. But Earth's defenses held firm, each layer revealing new depths of human ingenuity. Your ship's sensors, Chen gestured, and new displays appeared on the bridge, are detecting only a fraction of what's actually happening. The real battle is taking place across multiple timelines simultaneously. Watch. The holographic displays shifted, showing layer after layer of reality. In each one, Earth appeared different. Sometimes a technological utopia, sometimes a post-apocalyptic wasteland, sometimes something utterly alien. But in every timeline, hidden defenses activated in perfect synchronization. We didn't just hide our technology, Chen explained as the battle unfolded across dimensions. We hid our victories. Every time the entity broke free, we learned more about its nature. Every defeat taught us something new about the structure of reality itself. Zixtal watched in awe as human ships began emerging from temporal pockets, vessels that made his fleet's most advanced ships look primitive by comparison. Each one was unique, representing a different path of technological evolution, all orchestrated across millions of years for this moment. The entity believes it knows every possible future. Chen's voice carried the weight of eons. It thinks it has simulated every potential outcome, but it has one critical weakness. It can only think in terms of advancement. It cannot comprehend deliberate regression. The moon's surface suddenly transformed, revealing itself as a vast temporal computer. The supposedly primitive satellites around Earth linked together, forming a network that began rewriting the local laws of physics. Your species' predictive engines led you here for a reason. Admiral. Chen turned to face Sixtol. The Concordat represents something unique, the first civilization to achieve advanced technology while maintaining wisdom. You didn't just fight the entity, you tried to understand it. The entity, sensing the trap closing, attempted to escape into higher dimensions. But everywhere it turned, it found human technology waiting. Hidden in dark matter clouds, disguised as natural phenomena, each piece positioned over millions of years through careful manipulation of cause and effect. We've spent 3 million years preparing for this moment. Chen's hologram expanded, showing the full scope of human preparation. Every primitive technology we use on Earth serves a dual purpose. Our fossil fuel emissions, temporal camouflage, our inefficient power grid, a vast antenna array. Even our political conflicts are carefully orchestrated to maintain the precise emotional frequencies needed for temporal stability. The entity unleashed its full power, attempting to erase the entire solar system from existence. But as its attack reached Earth, something unprecedented happened. The timeline erasure began to reverse. Now, Admiral, Chen's voice carried both triumph and sadness. You'll see why we chose to become myth rather than gods. The convergence protocol isn't just a weapon. It's a reset, a way to rewrite the fundamental laws of reality without destroying existence itself. Earth's atmosphere ignited with mathematical fire, equations made manifest burning across the sky. The moon's surface fully transformed, revealing technology that shouldn't be possible. And throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden machines activated in perfect harmony. 3 million years of preparation, Chen said softly as reality itself began to bend around them. 3 million years of waiting, watching, guiding. All for this moment. Watch closely, Admiral. You're about to see why power without wisdom destroys, but wisdom without power can reshape creation itself. The final phase was beginning. The entity howled in frequencies that shattered space-time, recognizing too late the true nature of humanity's plan. The cycle was about to end, and the galaxy would never be the same.